Hey, what's up guys, this is Dushan and this video is about Blender basics. Well, before I jump onto the Blender basics, first thing first, how to install Blender. Head on to your browser, search for blender.org. Once you get over there, click on the download Blender, and here you can download various versions. You can download for Mac, Windows, Linux. Now I'm downloading for Windows. Click on this and you see the download will start over here, and you have to just download the setup and install it. So that's all. Well, now we are done with the installation part, and now it's time to jump onto the Blender. Well, on starting the app, this startup menu pop-ups. So here you have to click onto the general and you will get to the general layout. So in this general layout, you can see there is a cube, a light and a camera. Now first I will tell you the mouse configuration in Blender. In Blender, the left click is used to confirm anything and right click is used to unconfirm. Now I will show you how do we add objects in Blender. But first I will delete this cube. So I will select this cube by left clicking on it and then simply press delete key to delete it. Now for adding objects, you have to go into the add option over here and click on that, and you can see this many options are there. You can add any of the particular thing you want. You can add an image, a light, camera, speaker, force field. So now I will add a cube. For adding a cube, you have to go into the mesh, and in mesh you can see you can add a plain cube or anything. So I will click on the cube to add a cube. So in this way you can add a cube. For hotkey users, you can do the same thing by pressing Shift A. So once you press Shift plus A, the add menu pop-ups, and here you have to go into the mesh and add a cube. So in this way you can add objects in Blender. Now it's time to discuss the side toolbar. So here you can see on the side toolbar there are various options available. So we will discuss one by one all the options. So first one is the select box option. So this select box option is used for selecting the object. So right now it is activated, and if I click to any of the particular object like this, like cube or light or a camera, then you see the object gets selected. So this is what it is used for. If I got to this option and if I want to get back to this option, you can simply press W. So it will automatically get back to the select option. So W is the shortcut key for the select option. The next one is the 3D cursor option. So what is this 3D cursor? Now here you can see there is this type of symbol over here. So this is basically the 3D cursor. Now the point at which the 3D cursor will be, at that point the object will be added. Let me show you what I am talking about. For that I will click over here, and now if I move my mouse to any of the particular point and left click, you see that 3D cursor which was here has been moved to that point. So in this way you can move the 3D cursor to any of the particular point you want. Now if I add any particular object like a cube, so Shift A for pop up the add menu and add a cube, and you see the cube has added to the point at which the 3D cursor is and not in the origin. So the point at which the 3D cursor will be, at that point the object will be added. So this is the use of 3D cursor. Now if I want to get this 3D cursor back to the origin, so how can I do that? For that, right click, and once you right click, the object content menu pop-ups, and here go to the snap section and click on the cursor to world origin. So once you click, you see that cursor get back to the world origin. So this is what the 3D cursor is used for. Now let me get back to the select mode. So I press W to getting back to the select mode. Now the next is the move option. So what is this move option used for? Now if I click on the move option and click on the object to which I want to move, so move option allows me for moving the object. So once you click on any of the particular object, you see this type of gizmos will appear around it. So this is basically called as gizmos. This is generally the 3-dimensional axis configuration. So now if I want to move the object, I will click at this center of the circle, and you can see I can freely move that object according to my cursor. And if I release my left click, that position will be confirmed. So this is how you can move the object. If I want to move it along x-axis only, so I will click on this point and just left click drag to the particular point, and once I get to a particular position, then just release the left click and that position will be confirmed. Same for Z and same for the y-axis. So this is how we can move the object. Now for hotkey users, you can do the same by pressing G. For that, select the object you want to move. Suppose I want to move this cube, I will select this cube and then press G, and you can see now you are able to move the object freely. and once you get to the particular position, you just have to press left click to confirm. Now I will unconfirm this by right click pressing. Now suppose I want to move this object along x-axis only. For that I will select the object, grab and then press X. So this will allow me to move it along x-axis. And once I get to a particular position, then left click to confirm. Remember, left click to confirm, right click to unconfirm. If I want to move it along y-axis or z-axis, again do the same. Grab it and type the axis you want to move. For y-axis, type y and you will be able to move along y-axis, and for z-axis, type z and you will be able to move along z-axis. Now the next option is the rotate option. So here you can see there is a rotate option. So how does it work? For that you have to click on the rotate option and then click on the object you want to rotate. So once you click on the object, this type of rotatory gizmos will appear around the cube or any of the particular object you select. So suppose I want to rotate it along y-axis, then I will left click drag this green line and you can see I am able to rotate it along y-axis. For x-axis again do the same, and for z-axis again do the same. So this is how you can rotate it. For free rotation you have to simply left click drag by clicking on the middle, and you can see you can rotate freely, and once you get a proper orientation just release the left click and it will be confirmed. Now for hotkey users, the shortcut key for doing the same is by pressing R. So select the object you want to rotate and then simply press R. So once you press R, you will be able to rotate it. Now suppose I want to rotate it along x-axis, then after pressing R you have to press X. So you will be able to rotate it along x-axis. If I want to rotate it along z-axis, press Z, and for y, press Y. So in this way you can rotate it. Now I will unconfirm this by simply pressing right click. Now suppose I want to rotate it freely. For that you have to press R and then again press R. So this will allows you for the free rotation of the cube. Now comes the next option, that is scale option. So here once you click on the scale and click on the object you want to scale, you see again the same type of gizmos will appear. Now suppose I want to scale it along z-axis, you have to left click drag this, along y-axis left click drag this, and along x-axis left click drag this. For hotkey users you can do the same by pressing S. So select the cube you want to scale and then simply press S. So now you will be able to scale it. For scaling it along any of the particular axis, after pressing S, just simply press that axis along which you want to scale. So for x-axis I will press X and I am able to scale it along x-axis. For y, press Y. I will left click to unconfirm every change, and in this way you can scale it. So these are all the main options of the left toolbar. Now the second thing is the modes that are provided in the Blender. Now here in the left top corner you might be seeing a small arrow and object mode. So once you click on the downward arrow, you see there are different modes available. So in Blender there are on total 6 modes available, out of which we will be studying 2 modes, that is object mode and edit mode. So these are the 2 modes that are used frequently in Blender while modeling any particular thing. So basically in object mode you can scale the object, you can rotate the object, you can transform the object in the particular way you want. But what if I want to transform the particular edge or the particular vertex of the object? You can't do the same thing in object mode. For that edit mode is there. So in edit mode what happens is that it allows you to play with the vertices, edges and the faces. For entering the edit mode you have to click over here and then click on the edit mode. So you see now you have entered the edit mode. You can do the same by pressing tab. So on pressing tab I had get back to the object mode, and again pressing tab I will be again entering the edit mode. So you can enter to and fro between the object mode and edit mode by simply pressing tab. Now at this point you might be seeing something like this. So basically these are the options available in the edit mode. This is the vertex select mode, this is the edge select mode, and this is the face select mode. Now what vertex select mode does is that it allows you to select the vertices. So you can select this vertices by clicking on that. You can select this vertex, you can select this vertex. Now what if I want to select this edge? You can't do the same thing by vertex select. For that you have to go into the edge mode, that is the second option. So once you are in the edge mode, you can select the edge, this edge, this edge, this edge. Now what if I want to select the face? For doing the same you have to click on this face mode and you can select the face now. So these are the different modes in the edit mode. Now for easy switching between different modes, you can simply press 1 for the vertex select mode, 2 for the edge select mode, and 3 for the face select mode. Now you might be seeing the same toolbar as you have seen in the object mode in the left hand side, but you might be noticing that the first options are the same, but later on there are various options provided in the edit mode. Now formally we have discussed these 5 options, but now here we will be discussing extrude tool, insert face tool, bevel tool and loop cut tool. These 4 options we will be discussing that are used extensively in Blender. So what are these? Now the first tool is the extrude tool. So what is extrude tool? Extrude tool is basically used for extruding the face. Let me show you what I am talking about. Once you click on the extrude tool, select the face you want to extrude. Suppose I want to extrude this face. So I will left click on it to select it, and you say something like this will appear around it. And if you simply left click drag this plus sign, you will be able to extrude that face. So this is how the extrude tool is used for. Select the face and just extrude. Now I will switch back to the select mode by pressing W. For hotkey users, you can extrude the face by simply clicking on the face you want to extrude and then press E to extrude. So in this way you can extrude it. Just simply click on the face you want to extrude and then press E. Now the second one is the insert tool. The insert tool is used to insert a face inside a particular face. If you click on the insert face and click on the face inside which you want to insert the face, suppose I select this face, and you see again this type of thing will appear. You have to left click drag and you can see you are inserting a face inside that face. So this is what the insert tool is used for. For hotkey users, you can do the same thing by clicking on the face on which you want to insert a face and then simply press I. So once you press I, you see on moving your mouse you are able to inserting the face. Then left click to confirm it. So in this way you can insert the faces. The next option is the bevel option. So for beveling any particular thing, this bevel option is used. For using it, first I will extrude this face for showing that result, and then I will click on this bevel option. So once you click, select the face you want to bevel, like I want to bevel this face, and then just left click drag. And you see it is creating a bevel at that face. You can scroll up to increase the edges, and once you get proper orientation, just release the left click and it will be confirmed. So this is what the bevel option is used for. Now for hotkey users, you can do the same by simply pressing Ctrl B. Let me show you how. So first I will extrude this face, select the face, E to extrude, and then again select the face you want to bevel and then simply press Ctrl B. So Ctrl B is the shortcut key for beveling, and you can see I am again beveling the face. So this is how you can use the bevel tool. The last one is the loop cut tool. So the loop cut tool is used to create one more edges at any of the particular point. If you select the loop cut tool and you see this type of yellow margin will appear. So this will basically create the edge at that point. So if you left click and drag the mouse, you are able to create that edge to the point you want. And if you get to the particular point, just release the left click and the edge will be created over there. You can do the same thing for different sides also. So just left click, and once you get to a proper position, just release and the edge will be created over there. So this is what the loop cut tool is used for. Now simply press tab to get back to the object mode. Now here at the right corner you might be seeing something like this. So these are basically the different viewport mode. Now what are viewport mode? Now in Blender there are 4 viewport mode provided. The first one is the wireframe mode, the second one is the solid mode, the third one is the shading mode, and the fourth one is the render mode. So if you click on this wireframe mode, you are able to see the wire structure of the same cube. Now there is no solid anymore. Second one is the solid mode. So here in the solid mode you can see, as we are working in the solid mode most of the time, so the solid look of the object will appear. Third one is the shading mode. So in shading mode, what happens is that it creates the artificial lighting all around the scene and gives the look of the artificial light. The fourth one is the render mode. So if you click over here, you will get to the render mode, and in the render mode, what happens is that the original lighting condition that you have set up will display. So here you can see there is a light. Because of that, this portion is luminous, but this portion is dark. Remember, the rendered mode is the final viewport that you will get after rendering. You can switch between different render mode by simply pressing Z, and this thing will appear, and then select the mode you want to enter. Like if I want to enter solid mode, just click on the solid mode and you enter the solid mode instead of doing it from here. Now right now I can't see the edge which is behind this point. So for seeing it, X-ray mode is used for. You will be able to see beyond the objects through X-ray mode. Next thing is the show overlay option. So once you disable it, all the excess will disappear and you will get the original view. Second one is this. This is used for disappearing the side portal. Now in the right corner you might be seeing this type of collection. So this is basically the collection bar. All the objects that are added in the scene get added over here. You can see there is a cube, this light, the camera and everything. Now suppose I want to rename this cube. For that I will simply double click on that and then you can rename it according to your choice. Like I will just rename it as model and you see I have renamed it. Now if you want to hide this model, that is this cube, from the scene, then simply press over here and you see you have hidden that from the scene. To get it back, just again press over here and you get it back. You can do the same hide and unhide by the shortcut key H. Now the next thing is the property tab. So here you can see this tab. This is basically the property tab. There are various options available in the property tabs, but for this tutorial we will be covering only some parts that are really important. The first one is the render mode. So here you can see this is the render property tab. If you click on that, now what are this? Now in Blender there are 3 render engines provided. You can see that is Eevee, Workbench and Cycles. The next one is this viewport and render section. So if you increase this amount, you will be seeing that object much more clearer than embedded, occlusion, bloom are the different options. So for seeing everything working, you have to first switch to the render mode. The next thing to learn is the modifier section. So the Blender provides various modifier. For accessing that modifier, you have to click over here and then click on the add modifier. So you can see there are different modifier provided by the Blender. So for now we will learn the bevel modifier, the mirror modifier and the solidify modifier. Now you might be knowing the bevel modifier before only because we have bevel the face, right? But what if I want to bevel the whole cube? For that these modifiers are used. So how to do that? First select the cube you want to bevel and then click over here, go to add modifier and add a bevel modifier. So once you add a bevel modifier, you can see something like this. I will switch back to the solid mode by clicking over here and you see the edge has been beveled. So you can increase the amount, decrease the amount over here, increase the number of segment. In this way you can bevel it. So this is what the bevel modifier is all about. Now I will just cancel it by clicking over here. So this will remove the modifier and it will get back to the original orientation. The next one is the mirror modifier. Now to use the mirror modifier, I will first add a plane, Shift A to pop up the add menu and then go to the mesh, add a plane, S to scale it and scale it up the cube, then click on this cube you want to mirror and then go to this modifier, add modifier and click on the mirror modifier. So first we want to specify the object along which we want to mirror, the reference object that is. So click over here and select this as a reference object. So once you select this as a reference object, then you need to specify the axis along which you want to mirror. So this is y-axis. So once I click the y-axis, you see it has mirrored along the y-axis. We'll disable this x-axis and in this way you can mirror it. If I click on the z-axis, you see the same thing has mirrored along the z-axis. So this is how the mirror modifier is used for. Now if you want to apply the modifier, you have to click over this downward arrow and click on the apply. So right now I will just remove it by simply pressing on this cross. Now the next one is the solidify modifier. So the solidify modifier is used to give the solid edge to any of the particular thing like this plane. So if I want to solidify this plane, I will first select this plane and then go over here, add modifier and add a solidify modifier. So you can see it has added the thickness to this plane. You can adjust the thickness from dragging this value. If you press shift and drag this value, there will be a minute changes. Now the next option is the material option. So here this is the material option, that is basically the material property. Now in Blender every material has its own property. So for giving it the particular property, you have to click over this menu. So this menu will pop up. Then select the object you want to give the material and then click on this new button. So this will assign the material to that object. Here you can see the material 001 has been assigned to this cube. You can rename this by simply double clicking on that and just give it a particular name. So this material is assigned to this object. Now here you can see there is a base color, so you can change the base color of that object. But right now you might be observing that nothing is happening over here. This is because we are in the solid mode and you can't see the color changes in the solid mode. For that you have to enter the render mode or the shading mode. So here I will enter the shading mode, press Z and then click on this material preview mode, that is shading mode, and you see the blue color can be observed over here. You can change the color of the cube according to your choice, like green or anything. You can decrease the contrast of the cube. Now here you can see there are various options like the metallic, specular, roughness, everything. As the name suggests, it will add metallic character to that cube. So once you increase, you see the cube will become much more metallic like this, and if you decrease, it will become non-metallic. The next option is the roughness option. If you decrease this roughness value, you can see the object is becoming more and more shiny. So this is what the roughness is used for, and if you increase, it won't be shiny anymore. Now there are various options, but right now we'll be dealing with this two only. Now if I click on this light, you see here there will be a light type of option will appear in this property tab, and if you click over here you will get to the light menu. So this is basically the light menu, which will allow you to control the characteristic of the light. If you increase the power of a light, you see nothing is happening over here. This is because you are in the shading mode and you have to get to the render mode first. So once you get to the render mode, now I can increase the power of a light just clicking over here and make it 2000, and the light power will increase. I can increase the radius of a light also, so according to which the scene will be affected. I can also give different color to the light. I can give it a blue color, yellow or anything. Now there is also a camera in this scene. If you want to see through the camera, you have to click over here and you will be switched to the camera view mode. So this is what the portion that will be rendered. But now I want to render this cube over here. So for that I have to move the camera. For moving the camera, you have to select the camera and then press G to move. But this process might be very hectic because you have to again switch back to the view mode and then again move it. So to make it simpler, you have to switch to the camera mode, then press N. So once you press N, this menu will pop up. This is the basically transform menu. Here you have to go to the view and then click on the lock camera to the view. So once you click, again press N to disable this menu. You can see you are zooming it and zooming out, and the camera is also zooming it. Now if I render the animation, this portion will be rendered. So for rendering, you have to click on this render and click on the render image. So this is the final render animation that I get. So that's all for this video. I hope you liked the video. Hit the thumbs up button if you like it and subscribe to my channel. So that's all for now. This is Dushant. We'll see you later.